All right. Should we get going? What do you guys think? Time? I think so. Let's make this happen, huh? Okay. Okay. Well, hey, thank you guys for being patient with us. It's been an exciting day so far. Anyone disagree with that? Had a good time? Yeah. Learned a lot. Learned about products. We learned about this opportunity. We heard from David DeMelka about his story and bringing this company around and how he and Jason came together and put this whole thing in front of us. And now it's our responsibility to pick up and run with it. And that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon a little bit. Is we're going to go through a little bit of training today. We're going to learn about the compensation plan. We're going to learn a little bit about building, I guess, some goals. That's what we're going to talk about first. Because this is what I found in my own life and the lives of a lot of individuals in this business. As you get engaged with something, you come here, you get so excited, you sign up, you get your product, you've had this incredible experience. I'm gonna sign some people up, it's gonna be awesome. Monday is just gonna be an amazing day. It's the first day of the rest of my life, right? You go there, and Monday happens, and you wake up and you go, what do I do now? Right? Have you guys had this experience? So what do I do now? You've got all this excitement, and you're all dressed up, and you got nowhere to go, right? And so we're going to talk about that a little bit this afternoon. We want to talk about, well, how do we set some goals? Because some of you are in another position. Some of you have been doing this for a little while. You've had some success, and you've been moving along, but then life happens, right? Car breaks down, or the kids or grandkids got these activities, or any number of things that can cause distractions for you. And so you get involved with something, and then you forget. Or sometimes this is what happens too, because this is what happens to us in the corporate office too. I mean, we're looking at you guys. Sometimes everything's going great and you kind of plateau. And you're not sure how to break through it and you get frustrated, right? Anyone here get a little frustrated trying to build their business sometimes? And unless you have a clear vision, a clear picture of why you're doing something, sometimes it's easy to just sit on that plateau and then even just come down from it. So we have to have a way to remind ourselves about why we're doing something. And so that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Angela here is passing out. We'll love you, Angela. And Marty, he's a handsome man. So they're passing out just a real simple kind of business plan type thing, right? And the idea here, this isn't a whole entire business plan. This isn't going to map out the next 5 years of your life. But this is a simple worksheet so that you can put together why you're doing this and what is it exactly that you want to accomplish over the next little while. So, first things first, why? The reason or purpose behind the action. Why are you doing this? What is the reason that you're here, that you signed up, that you're excited, you can't wait for Monday to come? What is this reason? For some of you, it's a simple, easy answer. At least that's what you'll give initially. And I've had these conversations with individuals over the years. You sit down with them and you go, so why are you doing this? And they go, well, I need some extra money. You go, okay, well, why do you need that? Well, I'm having trouble knocking out the rent or making the mortgage. Or I'm worried about my daughters, my granddaughters, my grandsons, tuition at college. Or I'm worried about retirement. So a little extra money would help. Okay, so why? Well, because I want them to go to school and have a better life. Why? Well, because I want them to not have to struggle with the things that I struggled with, or that my family has struggled with. Why? Well, I want them to be able to have time freedom. What we found, research has actually found that typically you have to ask someone 5 times that why question to get to the root of really why. My 3-year-old is fantastic at this, by the way. It's constant stream of why. And so when you go to write your why, what you will find is oftentimes your why is not to pay off a mortgage, because that's a what? That's a goal. That's a thing that you reach. Your why is this continual driving force behind your decision to do this. And if you can clearly identify what your why is, then that'll help you through those plateaus. That'll help you when you call up 10 friends and they all tell you, I'm not interested. Because you'll remember why you're doing this. You remember that it isn't just 10 people that you're trying to save. It isn't 10 lives that you're trying to make a difference in. That it's hundreds, thousands, millions of lives. And sometimes you just got to do it one at a time. And you might get a whole lot of rejection, but that's okay. You know, Thomas Edison, when he invented the light bulb, you know, he said, I tried, what was it, 600, 700, all these different combinations until I finally found the one. And people go, well, that's a lot of failure. He goes, not necessarily. I just kept finding ways that it didn't work, and I knew that eventually I'd find the way that it did. Right? And you're going to find that's true of this business. Some of you will go out Monday morning and you'll have success. Some of you will go out Monday morning and you won't have success. That's okay, because Tuesday is another day. And there's Monday afternoon, and then there's Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Every day you wake up, there's a new opportunity for success. But if you don't understand what your why is, you're not going to wake up and do anything. So that's what this sheet can help you do. Let me tell you a little bit about my why, and it's this right here. My wife and my 2 kids. And what it is for me is it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the time for you, really. I've worked in a couple different industries. I've worked in this industry for the last 8, 9 years, and I love this industry. Before that, I worked in the technology industry. I've traveled all over the world, experienced all kinds of things. And you know what I learned while I'm visiting that castle in Germany, or I'm you know, at the top of this tower in Tokyo? That I would love to have these folks with me. I learned that that's what it's about for me, that some of the happiest moments in my life are sitting on the ground with my wife and my little boy just playing, having fun. And so my why is I want to be able to provide a situation where we've got the freedom to do that on our time schedule and around the things that they want to be able to do. That's the why for me. It's not about necessarily paying off the mortgage. That's one of the things that I want to do. That's a goal that I have. But the why is that I can spend time with these folks. And I'm willing to bet that for the vast majority of you, your why is going to be very similar to something like that. So write that down and keep it close to you. So the question is, now how do we get there? It starts with goals. And it's, where do you want to go? What's the path that you're going to take? Because remember, our why is not necessarily a destination, it's a driver. Our goals are these destinations. This is how we map out our path. So what might be some good goals as we go along? Jeff, what's one of your goals?
Yeah, I mean, $50,000 a month.
Okay, it's a great goal, $50,000 a month. David, what about you? What's a goal that you have? 500,000 members. So we measure that in different ways. Who else has a goal? And no goal is too small. You got to have small goals to get big goals, right? What we got?
And so I want to get it out there to share with autistic moms about the country.
So she wants to help autistic moms.
To go viral with YouTube, Facebook, and everything. Globally.
See, our resident hipster, our hipster here who wants to go viral. She wants to get on the internet, right? Exactly. You never know what it is, but goals, there's a specific pattern in order to get to goals. And one of those, and that's what we're going to talk about next. And what we're going to talk about is what they call SMART goals. Okay? So this is what you got to understand. As you start creating goals, it's good to have ideas, it's good to have these things that you want to do, but how do you start really creating goals? Well, number one, goals need to be specific. That's the S part of SMART. Specific. What is your specific goal? Jeff, it was $50,000 a month. And maybe if you want to reach autistic moms, I want to help 5 mothers of autistic children this week. That's my specific goal. With David, it's 500,000 members. That's a specific goal. So what is your specific goal? Is it measurable? Is $50,000 a month measurable? Yes. Is 500,000 members measurable? Yes. Is 5 mothers a week that I want to help measurable? Absolutely. So is your goal specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it something that you can realistically do? Now, doesn't mean it doesn't stretch you, but is it something that you can get to? All right? Like, as an example, I might want to be the smartest man alive. But is it feasible that I'm going to go out and kill 2 or 3 people? No. Not at all. So I'll be content where I'm at, right? And the top 5 is not bad. Is it relevant to what you're doing? So if your main goal, as an example, is to pay off your mortgage, wouldn't it make sense that maybe a short-term goal, a relevant goal would be, I'm going to start paying double payments? Because my main goal is a specific goal of paying off my mortgage. I can measure it. It's very specific. It is attainable. I know that if I just do what I'm doing, sometime over the next 30 years, I'm going to pay that thing off. But I want to do it faster. I want to do it in 15 years. So a short-term goal is I want to get to the point where I'm doubling the payment every month, right? Now it's relevant to what I'm doing, because it really wouldn't be relevant to have a goal to pay off my mortgage and then say, well, I want to, I want to go on this vacation to Europe. Well, how is that relevant to the goal of paying off my mortgage? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have that goal, but if you're building a trap to pay off your mortgage, is this short-term goal relevant to what you're doing? And then finally, is it time-bound? When do you want to accomplish this by? Specifically, when? Not sometime within the next 3 years, or sometime within the next 5 years, or 10 years, or something. Specifically, when are you going to do this? Having a time-bound goal helps you get up Monday morning, because you might have the goal, Jeff, I want $50,000 a month in income, because I know if I can get to that point, I can get all these other goals like paying off my mortgage and having money in the bank for tuition and all these other things. I can have that, and that gives me my time freedom. So in order to get there, I know what I need to do on a weekly basis is talk to 3 people a day. That's 15 people a week. So Monday morning when I wake up, I've got a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound goal to talk to 3 people that day about MMF. That's going to help me get to my goals down the road. Do you see how that works? They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be attainable. They need to be relevant. They need to be time-bound to what you're trying to accomplish. And you start with a big goal, that big dream that you've got. And you break it into smaller ones. And you break it into smaller ones. And you break it into daily activities. All right? So actions are how we're going to get there on a daily basis. What specifically, does anyone here share the same goal that Jeff has? I want to get $50,000 a month income. Anyone here have that goal? I've got that goal. The rest of you are already good? You already got there? Fantastic. So what are you going to do Monday morning to get there? What specific action are you going to take when you wake up Monday morning to get there? The old adage, how do you eat the elephant? 1 bite at a time, right? So what's that 1 bite you're taking Monday morning? Prayer. It's not a bad goal. I'm going to have a prayer every single morning because I need that extra help, right? Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm going to call a couple people. Because it's not like they're just going to knock on my door looking for MMF, right? No, you're going to get out there and you're going to make it happen. So, as we go about building our plans, as we go about putting our goals together, think about these things. Think about your why. What's your purpose? Ultimately, what state or what thing are you trying to bring about in this world? Think about your big goals. Think about those things that could change your life significantly, or the lives of others. Think about defining that goal so that it's specific, that it's measurable, that it's attainable, that it's relevant, and that it's time-bound. When are you going to do it? And then you think about the actions that you're going to do on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis that's going to get you there. And here's what's interesting. As you talk to leadership in this industry, people like Jeff, Angela, Marty, Efren, bunch of these guys around here, a bunch of people that are here today. As you talk to them, you will find that every single one of them does some of the same things. I talk to X number of people every day. I have that goal. Because I know that if I do that, I might go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where every single one of those 5 people or 3 people or 6 people or 10 people that I talk to tells me no. I might even have some of them laugh at me, whatever it is. But on Friday, I had 3 people that said yes. And then that next week I had a few more. And I had a few more. But I know if I continue to do that, I build an organization. Jeff, is that true?
Absolutely.
Isn't that exactly what you do?
Verbatim.
And then what other goals do you do? What other actions do you do, Jeff, that you engage in that you can share with these folks that make it happen?
Just what was talked about earlier about Jason and the compensation plan, what drives it. You look for people who want to be like you, and you help them.
Exactly. So Jeff's going through this process in his mind. And at this point, it might even be subconscious where he's talking to people. I got these 2 friends. I got Jason and David right here. I'm going to sample them out. And I find out that Jason, well, he's actually looking for some income. David's just happy that his back feels better, right? Well, that doesn't make any one more important than the other. But I know now through this process that I've got a great customer in David. I've got a potential builder in Jason. So I'm going to focus some time there. I'm still going to call David. Hey, how's the product going for you? It's still working. Make sure we get you that box this month. Maybe your wife could enjoy some. But I'm going to focus some time on here because you know what happens? Eventually, David may decide that he wants to be a builder. But you can't change people's eye color. If David's not the person who's going to build the business, no amount of me or Jason or all of you talking to David and trying to convince him is going to change the color of his eyes. It's going to make him a builder until he decides that you should want. So you love your customers. You take care of your customers. You make sure that they're satisfied. You provide incredible customer service. But you work with and you build a plan with your builders. And I think that's what Jeff's talking about, is that you go through this process of finding customers, and you go through this process of prospecting people, and you find these builders, and you help the builders build, and you get the customers their product, and you service those. That's what he does on a weekly basis. And then you hold meetings on a regular basis. How often?
Every day.
There you go. So would it be feasible then, if we're starting out our business, that one of the things that we might want to think about Monday morning is, you know what, I need to have a meeting. It doesn't need to be a big meeting.
Home meeting. Home meeting.
Home meeting with 3 to 5 people. Can I get 3 to 5 people to my house this week, or do I need to wait till next week? Realistically, what can I do? I'm going to hold that home meeting. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to wait until I've got 10 people. I'm going to say next Wednesday I'm doing it. And if Jason's the only one who shows up, I'm going to do it. Because I need to create that habit. And then when Jason and I are the only ones there, we're sitting in the living room, my wife's shaking her head going, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to look at Jason and go, okay, well, how do we get 4 people here next week? Jason, you're responsible for bringing someone next week. And I want you to bring someone that can give a great testimonial to. Can you bring 2 people? Maybe we look at some of the customers that we've got together, bring a testimony with. You can bring someone, I'll bring someone. And then next week we've got 4. And that week after we've got a few more. Because we're talking about specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound things to do. So, as you look at this sheet of paper, think about your why. Think about the goals that you have. Think about how you break those goals down into daily actions so that you can actually accomplish these things. And that's how you're going to lay out the track. You're going to put together a plan that's eventually going to get you to where you want to be. And there's going to be times in your business that it takes off and everything's really fun. And there's going to be times when it slows down a little bit. And you've got to fight through it. And you've got to remember your why, and you've got to continue to do what you do. We all face those moments in life, whether it's in this business or other things. We get up in the morning, we find some kind of purpose, we find some kind of reason, and we keep going. Look, it's great to be here with you guys. It's so exciting for me to be at the beginning of something like this and see the potential. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Can you really see it in your picture, in your mind?
Yes.
Well, then create the track, the vehicle, whatever you've got to do to get there, because we're heading there, and we'd love to have you there with us. Thank you very much for spending We're going to see you for the rest of the afternoon. We are going to hear from our CEO, Jason Gott, who's going to train you on the compensation plan and kind of how this works and give you some of the ideas and principles behind our compensation plan. You're going to have an opportunity again to hear from our chairman, David Munoz, who's going to share with you some of the things that he's learned in business over his experience, not just in this industry and with this company, but in his time overall. And so it's going to be a fun afternoon. We're going to finish up with a lot of fun. It's really been a pleasure to meet all of you. I look forward to working with you. And Jason, it's your time, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, brother. How do we get this going? Thank you. Thank you, Noah. Now we're going to excuse Noah. We know he's going to have to run here in a little bit. He's got a fun weekend planned. We're just grateful that he could be here with us. And to help me get this thing up, you know. Techno savvy, dude. Now, each of you earlier, first of all, please raise your hand if you just became a member and if you bought a pack over the break. Please raise your hands high so I can see who became a member and who bought a pack over the break. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being part of Engage Global. Excellent. There we go. One second. Oops, there we go. Oh, perfect. Now, let's go to Zoom. Now, do you? All right. Now, each of you got a form, a flyer, that has this on one side and the fast start to freedom scenarios on the back side. Do you still have that? Okay, does anybody not have it? We have a few people who do not have one. Kelly, can I trouble you to bring some? Please raise your hands high if you don't have one. We have a couple here, thank you. Do we have some more in the back? We have no more in the back. We handed them all out. Uh-oh, that means somebody took two. We can forgive them. Let's wait till they hand those out. All right, well, you might have to look at the one from your neighbor, and we'll make sure that you get one. Now, just know that these are on the website. So if you go to engage-global.com, sorry, I think we're out. Darn it, sorry. I thought for certain we had enough. If you don't have one, forgive us. But just know that we'll project it up here, and when you get home, you can see this on the website and print it off. So actually, both sides of this form are at engage-global.com. So we talked about the income scenarios before the break. There have been some questions about what the 3, 6, 9, and 12 mean. So I thought what we would do now is just open it up to a couple of questions. I'd like to see a raise of hands. Who has a question about those income scenarios, how they work? I'll answer 2 of them, then we'll move on to this. And then I'll talk actually about the income scenarios as part of it too. But about the presentation earlier and the income scenarios during the Fast Start to Freedom promotion, the backside of that flyer. Are there any questions about how that works and how that money is generated, how you earn that money? Any questions? Raise your hand. Yes?
Hi, I understand that on the fast start, that if you have a builder coming in, that you have to have one on each separate leg. You can't have like 2 on the same leg. Could you elaborate, please?
Sure. Yeah, the system doesn't care where those people go. In fact, we built into, and this is one thing I was going to talk about, we built into our team commission, our flex, well, the flex plan, this automatically optimized feature that will put the people you enroll in the best place for your income. So it could well be, because of your activity, your sponsor's activity, and so on, that the 3 people you sponsor to earn your Fast Start bonus, they might all end up in one line. It doesn't really happen very often, but it's possible. So the system doesn't care about such things. The system only cares about this: to earn your Fast Start bonus. So let's look at the flyer. Let's look at the Fast Start Freedom side really quickly, please. You see your Fast Start FSB column. Sorry, it's not on here. The FSB column, you'll see that you can earn $500 or $1,000 in just Fast Start money. Now turn the flyer over, look at the top, and you'll see this. Same thing, just illustrated differently. We're talking about how up at the top, how you can, with sponsoring just 3 people, that's this part right here, earn your money back. This is a concept called ROI. It's an acronym used in business often. It's called return on investment. Many of us have heard that. Well, we understand how important that is. Most of us want to see a return on our investment as quickly as possible. Our Fast Start program is designed to, within your first 30 days, get all of your money back. So many of you just spent $450 or $900 on your Fast Start packs. Now, over the next 30 days, if you sponsor 3 people at the same level you came in on, you will earn a Fast Start bonus equal to, actually exceeding, because of the discount you have today, equal to or greater than what you paid for your own pack. Plus, you're going to earn team commissions and possibly leader bonuses. So the Fast Start bonus is really, really simple. Sponsor 3 people at the same level you came in within 30 days. Doesn't matter where they go. Not because the system's going to put them wherever. Does that make sense? Pretty simple, right? It's meant to be super simple. Yes, Chuck.
And then you can, if you want to go into the business and put up $500, does that count?
Okay, so her question was, can one or some number of those 3 Fast Start members be people who are already on your team but who buy the Fast Start pack? Excuse me. And the answer to that is yes. It will still pay the Fast Start bonus. Now, it wasn't, I'll be honest, it was not originally programmed to do that. It had to be new people. So that's a little bit of a manual process that we're changing. So it will do exactly that automatically. But right now, we're doing it sort of on a manual basis. So if you happen to have, say, sponsored 2 new Fast Start members over the next 30 days, and then your 3rd is someone who's already in your team but decided to buy the Fast Start pack, if for some reason you see the system did not pay your Fast Start bonus, unlikely that it won't. But if for some crazy reason it doesn't, just give us a call. Say, didn't work, we'll take care of it. And just know that we're programming all these kind of really fun things as we go along, right? Because one of the awesome things about creating your own compensation plan that's better than everybody else's is as you go along, you can do these little enhancement things that just make everybody happy. Because we can. Now, the Fast Start bonus is, as we talked about earlier, it's really just about the start of your business. It's about getting product, actually, we don't need that yet. It's about getting product enough to start your business. So I had a question earlier. Pardon me. So I just bought a Fast Start pack. Let's say it's the Fast Start Builder pack. So now you have 19 boxes, 1 month supply of MMF, or 38 2-week supplies, right? Now, we designed those boxes very specifically so that you could share a 2-week supply with your prospects. Originally, MMF was packaged for the troops in a 7-day blister card. Many of you remember those originally. And they were designed to fit in the fatigues or in the flight suit, or they had a very specific shape and feature. But they were 7 days. And what we learned was quite a number of our members were giving a second blister card because there just seemed to be something about having 2 weeks of the product in you that helps you realize, no, there is change happening in my body. This is what I am MMF deficient. Now it makes sense. I want to join. So as a result of that experience, what we learned, we now package it in the 2-week supplies in the month box. So when you buy your Fast Start pack, the idea is you'll break those down into 2-week boxes. Use the brochure, right, the folding brochure that also comes with it, and possibly the DVD to show the video you saw that David showed you earlier, which is also on the website, by the way. So you don't need DVDs. If you have your computer, smartphone, you can show the video right off of the website. It's on the product link. But anyway, at that point, armed with those things, 2-week supply, brochure, and video, the idea is to, when you contact your folks, have what David calls an elevator pitch or a quick presentation, a quick pitch, something very, very succinct that helps them understand what it is you're trying to convey. What is in your hand? What is that box? And what's that brochure thingy all about? Now, I like to, when I talk with folks, maybe it's just because of my position, but I like to talk with folks like sometimes in the line at the grocery store or something. You know, you're kind of waiting for that person who's buying everything in the store. Oh, I'm never going to get out here. And then there's that one person behind you, and then it's up to you. So we got some problem with it. Hey, you strike up a conversation. And I say, hey, did you know that the Department of Defense, actually Marine Corps Systems Command, had made a product, an oral supplement designed to help our Marines, airmen, sailors, and soldiers reach peak health and then stay at that level of performance, even in nasty environments like Afghanistan and Iraq and so on? Did you know they did something like that? Okay, now I'm role playing. No. Never heard that before. Oh, well, you're missing out. Guess what? And I can give you some. They actually did that, and this company called Engage, open up the brochure, right? This company called Engage is now bringing it to the consumer market for us. So now it's no longer the exclusive purview of the military. We get to benefit just like they did. Pretty cool, huh? Now, and at that point, hopefully they're willing to take the brochure and possibly have a little bit longer conversation. I say this, and what I just shared with you is something that happened exactly to me at the grocery store last week. He turned out to be a Marine. Pretty cool. Yeah. Now, he hadn't tried the product before, so we had a great conversation, and I placed the product with him, and we did we also did the health snapshot. Now, this is something important. This is also very important as you share the product with people. Inside the trifold brochure is that little leaflet, that little flyer, the health snapshot. So what's the purpose of this thing? Does anybody know? Why is that in there? Because it was free from the printer. Why not? No? There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason. What do you suppose that reason might have been? Can I see you raising hand? What do you suppose that's for?
Baseline.
Before and after. Before and after. Great. People forget. Yeah. All the things that are happening, or at that moment, sometimes you sort of forget later on. It's kind of like, gosh, I forgot how rotten I used to feel. Now I feel pretty good. And sometimes you forget, right? Yeah. Can you see the brochure? Yeah, you know, if I were prepared, I'd have one up here. It's like I've got, you're prepared. I like you. Now, what about the health snapshot? You already used it, didn't you? Awesome. You have a health snapshot? Great, so we're going to combine these two. I'll be ready next time. I wasn't actually going to do this, but thank you. I'll make sure I get it back to you. In fact, I'll make sure you get more than this back. Thank you for sharing. Same to you. We'll make sure you get more than this back. So you'll get a whole bunch of good stuff from us. Thank you for helping. Now, ooh, and I like what you did to the back. You've done exactly to the back of the brochure what you're supposed to do. On the back of the brochure, there's a big white space. It's not because we didn't have anything to say. It's because we knew that you would want room for your own personal information. So when you leave the brochure with someone, they know how to reach you. So that's what the white space is for. You did a good job of putting your information in. Now inside, of course, is the health snapshot. Now you'll notice what we're not asking people to do is tell us how well they benefited from the product, say at the 2-week level, at the 2-week time mark. Here's what I mean by that. So you share the product with someone. And actually, here's what I like to do. Imagine I have a box of the product in my hand, I have the DVD and the brochure and the flyer. I ask them, if you're willing to experience this for 2 weeks, box of product, if you're willing to watch this video for 8 minutes, the video, then if you're willing to spend 2 minutes to read this, then, so yes, 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 great. Now then, we're going to spend the next 2 minutes and fill this out. Here's why. We're going to, as you all pointed out, we're going to draw a line in the sand. We're going to establish your baseline right now. We're going to evaluate how you feel today. Then, in about 2 weeks, when this box of product runs out that you bought from me or that I shared with you or however you got it, right? That's up to you. When you run out of this, we're going to fill out the other part, the other finished part. And here's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss how you noticed change. In 2 weeks, we're not going to ask you, so how well do you feel, what benefit, what doesn't hurt anymore, what are all the kind of great benefits that come. That's a little too early. What we're looking for is change. Think about it for a second. Think about all those overpriced, underperforming, say we'll call them, supplements, of which you can take bottles at a time and never notice anything other than you have to go to the bathroom and it would be an unpleasant experience. But other than that, you wouldn't feel anything, right? Well, with MMF, you know you're going to feel something, but not in every case is that something positive, at least so they perceive it as not being positive, right? Let's be realistic. Sometimes within those first 2 weeks, you start to push out some of those toxins. You start to repair some of those things that require repair. You're starting to activate things in the body that haven't been active for a while. And you kind of feel like, I just spent an hour in the gym, and I wasn't in the gym. Why do I feel like this? Or I have a headache, or I have my joints ache. All the types of things that we hear. And that's to be celebrated. So when we come back at the finish and we ask, so how did you do? And they go, oh my gosh, you have no idea how these last 2 weeks ago. First I had a headache, then my knee started to hurt, and then I couldn't sleep for 2 days, and then for the last 3 days of it, I slept like crazy, slept more than I ever had before. And that's when you go, you are so MMF deficient, you should be happy that you met me. Here's why. Because all of those things that you just mentioned are your very clear mark in the body. That's your body's very clear way of saying you were absolutely, without question, MMF deficient, and you've already started the repair process. The good news is that repair process usually only takes about the first 2 weeks. Once we get you up to the 90-day level, and you're experiencing full benefit because you've reached full body saturation at 90 days, that's when we start talking benefit. Right? That's when we start talking about, I don't get sick anymore. I can focus a lot better. My knee doesn't click when I go up the stairs, whatever it is, right? All those things. But it usually takes a little while. That's why it's so important to remember that all that product you just bought in your Fast Start packs comes with this information for a very particular and specific purpose and reason. It's there to help you share the product in a way that helps the person who's using it understand what it's doing for them, and help them understand that because there was some change, that they were in fact MMF deficient, and now it's time to become a customer and help us share this great message. Because if we all want to feel like a Navy SEAL on the inside, On the outside, we've got to do the work. And that means we've got to share this product and this message and this mission with everybody who wants to hear it. So because you bought these packs, not only do you have all of this great product and these materials, but you also have qualified your account to earn Fast Start bonuses. Which means over the next 30 days, if you sponsor 3 people who buy the same level of Fast Start pack you did, you'll get all of your money back. Actually, 500 or 1,000 instead of 450 or 900, so you'll get more back. And you'll earn team commissions and possibly even others, which I'll share with you in just a moment. It's really important for you to remember as you share this with others and you encourage those 3 people. Let's assume you bought the builder pack, the $900 pack, right? So you have 38 of these 2-week supplies. Presumably, if you have a 10% closure, if only 10% of the people you share the product with want to do what you've done, that's kind of the average that we found, you happen to have exactly the right amount of product in there to do that. You should have sponsored them 3.8 people at the same level. So that product is designed very specifically to help you receive all of your money back and get that 100% ROI. That's what Fast Start is about. Now you've started your business with 3 builders, not consumers, not just members, but builders. Why do we call them builders? Because they bought the Fast Start pack. Now your role is, remember I told you want to do 2 things, like Jeff reiterated, you want to do 2 things. Help people just continue every month to bring somebody into your team, and then number 2, help the people who want to do what you do that. Well, in this case, now you have 3 people who bought Fast Start packs. You got your money back. Now your goal is what? What do you think the next step should be? What should you be doing now that you have these folks on your team? Excellent. Would you say that out loud to the microphone, please?
Helping them build their own.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I took it away too early. Yeah, she said help them build their own business. Now it's about duplication. Help them understand how you did and what you did to sponsor those 3 people. Does that make sense? And at that point, your business becomes all about duplicating in numbers of 3. It's all about multiples of 3 and helping your team do the same. When you do that, I guess you went to sleep, didn't you? Is that what happened?
Yeah, just
Let me see if I can wake it up. Hey, wake up! So, yeah. So now you've earned your Fast Start. Now you're on the path to earning team commissions. So team commissions come from all those people who now will be brought into your team because though you've sponsored 3 Fast Start members, presumably you're still bringing in more members and the other periodic additional Fast Start. But those Fast Start members you enroll are doing the same thing. And this is creating additional levels of volume, we'll call it, or of product sales that generates commissions to you according to this schedule. Sorry, it's kind of small. That's why I handed that. That's why each of you should have this flyer. I want you to look at this part here where it says rank advancement and team commission detail. You see that on your flyer? There's a row here that's kind of dark blue, and it goes Engage 1, 2, 3, Liberty 1, 2, 3, Freedom 1, 2, 3. Look at that chart. Now, because you bought a $500 Fast Start pack, you're starting at this Liberty 1 rank right here. You just leapfrogged all the Engage ranks. That's one of the benefits of buying the $500 Fast Start pack. Now, if you bought the Fast Start Builder pack, the $1,000, well, $900 pack, you're starting your business at Liberty 2. You've leapfrogged 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks. You've now placed yourself right in the middle of the advancement through the ranks of the compensation plan. That's very relevant for this reason. If you look at this Liberty 2 column, you'll see down here the team commissions per level percentages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10, 10, 7, 7, 7, 7. See those on your flyer? Those are the percentages of the earnings you will receive every time someone on that level places an order of any kind, even fast starts. Because even fast start packs, though they pay the sponsor a fast start bonus, they also have volume that pays you commissions too. So as you now have 3 people on your front line because you sponsored 3 fast start folks, then they're sponsoring people. Hopefully you have 9 people now on your second line. And so that duplication is continuing. You're going to be receiving 10% from the first 2 levels and then 7% down below from all of that volume. Now, let's do some fun math here. So we're talking multiples of 3 because this starts out as a 3 by 12 flex team. There's room for 3 people on your first level. So using multiples of 3 now, how much room or how many positions are on your second level available? 9. Great. So 3 on your first, 9 on your second. How many on your third? 27. And on your fourth? 81. On your fifth? 243 people on your third. 243 people on your fifth level. Now, let's do some fun math. 243 times 3 is how much? 700, thank you, 729. If your team is duplicating properly, if your team is doing what you did and simply sponsoring those 3 people and teaching them how to do the same thing, then what will happen is in a very short time, within your first year, certainly, you now have these 6 levels full. Now, when you add up 729, 243, 81, 27, 9, 3, when you add all that up together, you have well over 1,000 people in your organization, all of whom, whenever they place an order, is paying you a commission. That's how this works. As those people on your team also advance, you'll see that there are opportunities for you to continue your rank advancement up from Liberty 3, then beyond into the Freedom 3 ranks. Now, recall, I said there are 2 things you want to do naturally for this compensation plan to be your very best friend in the world. Number 1 is what? What are the 2 things you have to do in this business to have this compensation plan compensate you perfectly? Number 1, continually sponsor new members each month at some level. Continue sponsoring. And number 2, of those people you've sponsored, find the ones who want to be like you to duplicate or commission and help them do the same. So why? Why are those 2 things so important? As it turns out, if you look at the compensation plan, you'll see that as you personally sponsor people, see these numbers here on this row, personally sponsored. You start at Liberty 2, for those of you who bought the Fast Start Builder Pack, it's as though you already sponsored 9 people. But as you go, oops, fat fingers. Come on. Oh, jeepers. Oh, that's the problem. I'm pointing at the screen. That's a genius. Still okay. Ah, there it goes. Okay. Now, you'll see as you continually personally sponsor people, look at your form, you can advance through the ranks, and as people in your team advance to ranks, let's look at the Liberty or the Freedom 3 column. Let's look at the far right column. You'll see that once you personally sponsored 21 people, and as 3 of those people you sponsored have become Freedom 2, and as 3 more people not personally sponsored by you, 3 more people in different lines in your team achieve the same level, Freedom 2, then you will be Freedom 3. So how does that happen? How do you qualify in such ways? What's the mechanism that will help you rank advance through all of these things? Do 2 things. And you don't want me to say them again, because I've said them, you know what they are, right? Personally sponsor someone every month and help those people who want to duplicate and be like you to be like you. When you do those things, this compensation plan is designed to naturally keep up with you and advance you through the ranks. There is no hoop jumping here, as we call it. There is no trickery. There's no small print on the other side that says, yes, but we're really not going to pay you because, like the other guys do. None of that's here. If you'll do those 2 things successfully, this compensation plan will stay up with you, and you will advance naturally. In my estimation, that is one of the best features of this compensation structure. I've built 3 teams of my own. In my career, I've been an executive of network marketing companies multiple times at various levels, managing director, CEO, whatever. But I've also built 3 of my own downlines, 2 of which were stolen from me. Anybody ever been there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole integrity thing that David talked about, that was really important to us. The last thing we'll ever do to you is what's been done to us by others. Trust us. Anyway, my point is, I built teams myself, and I have had to jump through those hoops, right? At the end of the month, going, oh, I've got to do this, and then you go through all of these machinations, you go through all of these crazy steps to try to force your team into some weird structure so that you can advance and get paid more. Well, if it's not natural, if you can't advance naturally as a result of doing what makes sense, then the plan's no good for you. That's why this plan had to be built from scratch. Because we knew that the 2 things that would help this country and this world experience MMF in the very best, most efficient way possible, we had to encourage people to do 2 things. Just 2 things. I'm going to make a poster of me saying 2 things. You'll all know what that means. Because if we do those 2 things, then compensation will naturally follow. But we had to make it. And I hope you will see the wisdom in this. I hope you will see the strength in this. I hope you will see the great wealth in this. Now, let me just give you a couple of little nuggets here of fun facts. If you look on your Freedom 3 column, look at the bottom, levels 11 and 12. You see that they jump from 7 back up to 10. I call these the fun levels. Here's why. Has anybody done the math? Now, we just went down to 6 levels. And we came up with over 1,000 people in the organization. Now, if that continues, that 3 by, and everybody does that perfectly, which doesn't happen, but let's just say for the sake of discussion today, it does. Does anybody know or remember what it looks like on levels 11 and 12? Well, let me just say, you and Bill Gates would be good friends. Because you're making about $7.5 million a month. That's what it can do. Those are the possibilities of this plan. Now, I will tell you, as a writer of several compensation plans for different companies, there's always this, and this is important for you, there's always this disparity between possibilities and probabilities. Right? What might happen maybe in a perfect world, and what's likely to happen? What's the reality? I will tell you that this compensation plan was built not so that it would look good on paper for people who are chasing pie in the sky, as we say, sorry for the idiomatic expression, or looking for high goals that cannot be attained, this compensation structure was built for people who do two things. And it will naturally, probably, pay you a very handsome commission. That's what it's designed to do. But it had to be built from scratch. Just like MMF had to be built from zero, because nothing on the market did what needed to be done, so too, there was no compensation structure available anywhere that did what this does. But it gets better. It gets way better even. Because, forgive the screen, I think we'll figure out something else on the projection for the next meeting. But if you look now at the bottom of your flyer, the very bottom, you see that big arrow with matching bonus words in it, pointing to the right, looking at those little blue squares, that blue table. Those are the matching bonuses. So here's where a bunch more money is going to get paid to you. So let's look at that fun number we talked about a moment ago. Let's say that your flex team has built all the way down to 12 levels and it's duplicated perfectly, and you're making a bunch of money, naturally. In that group of people from whom you are receiving commissions because they're making purchases, in that group of people from your first through your 12th levels and beyond, there are people who are also earning commissions. So here's how the matching bonuses work. Everybody you sponsor, okay, not 21, not 3, not any number. It's not a finite number. It's defined only by you. All the people you personally sponsor, no matter where they fall in the flex team because of the optimization, they are called your first generation. They are called your first generation. Picture them as kind of like your kids, your children, right? Like a family tree sort of thing. Everybody you sponsor is your first generation. Everybody they sponsor is your second generation. And so on, and so on. And those are the generations. Which is why, one of the reasons why I said, if you look here at the Freedom 3 qualification, some of you probably looked at the 21, knowing that you have to personally sponsor 21 people to reach Freedom 3. Some of you might say, well, why would I sponsor more than 21? That's all I need. I only need 21. For this reason. Remember, I told you that your first generation is everybody you personally sponsor. 21 people, 121 people. Well, why would you want to sponsor more than 21? Because when you reach those higher ranks and you're being paid matching bonuses, your first generation, remember, is everybody you sponsor, which means you are earning, using Freedom 3 as the example. Let's look here, look at your form, very bottom right corner. As a Freedom 3 shows that you're going to earn 25% from your first generation. Meaning you're going to receive 25% of the sum total of their flex team earnings. So what reason would you have to sponsor more than 21 people? Because the bigger that number gets, the bigger your matching bonus gets. So how do you grow that number? I won't say it. And as you continue to do that, your first generation, second generation, third and fourth generations become very large. And we're paying you matching on their collective sum total of their earnings. So imagine for a moment you've sponsored 20 people. 21, let's say 21 people. And they are earning an average of $1,000 each in flex team commission, in team commissions. So that would be $21,000 of earnings paid to your first generation. We will pay you 25% of $21,000 as your matching bonus, in addition to all of your flex team commissions, as shown in these numbers here. Do you see how the numbers can add up pretty quick? You see how the wealth can really come from this? I hope, if nothing else, as you look at this brochure and as we've talked about how the compensation structure can work, if you'll remember that it's built to help you earn commissions, large commissions, by doing the two things we talked about: the fast start up front, the team commissions as you build and advance through the ranks, and the matching bonuses as you help people earn commissions themselves. All of that effort combines in our system automatically to generate for you a commission check. That's what it does. That's what it's written to do. That's what it's programmed to do. And that's what it's already doing for some folks. So what we want for all of you in this room today is an opportunity to take advantage of that, to be part of that. And if you'll do those two things, I promise you, as I promised earlier today, Orange County, we'll call it, or Southern California generally, let's call it Southern California, will become the epicenter of wealth for the engaged global population as we grow from here across the country and eventually across the world. Forgive me, I was going to do some question and answer, but I see it's already 2:30, so I hope you'll forgive me. So I'd like to now turn the time over to David Nemelka, our chairman, who, as we know, gave an awesome presentation earlier today. This is really the funnest part of the whole day right now. And I'm a little bit envious that he gets to do all the fun stuff, but I'm happy that he does the fun stuff. So I will. Will we what? Give you the, I gave you the money stuff. Yeah, he's going to give you even more tangible fun stuff, right? Really cool. So without any further delay, I want to first invite each of you to fill out your form, your questionnaire. If you've not done so already, give it to me right now, or Kelly. Kelly, she's back there busy. Are you free? Can you come up here? Okay, if you're available, come on. If you've not given your questionnaire to me or Kelly or one of us on the staff yet, please do. We want everybody to have a ticket, okay? So if you don't have a ticket, let's do it now. And now, it's my pleasure to turn the time over to David. David, take it away.
Thank you, Jason. So that you can understand, Jason, the reason that I'm here is because of Jason. I mean, MMF is the reason I'm here, but the other reason, without Jason and MMF, there would be no idea. And so, and I think you just saw why. Jason has experience with business. He's over 20 years worked with compensation plans. He's created what I believe, and what we believe, is the absolutely finest, fairest, most rewarding compensation plan in the industry. And you can be proud to be a part of a plan like this. There is no gotchas. I mean, the one thing I told Jason is when we created a compensation plan, don't put any gotchas in there. There's no bonus pools where they promise money that you'll never get. There's no breakaways and breakages where you build a leader. A lot of plans, you build a leader, you lose them. It's called a breakaway. Why would you want to be punished for helping someone succeed? Our plan has none of that. It's fair, you get rewarded. And at the end of the day, people say, well, what about this plan? What about that plan? Once again, like I said earlier this morning, it really comes down to how much money is going into the plan. And what I can tell you is, up until this point, we've never paid less than 50% of revenues into the plan. Every single month, we look at our revenues and we're paying out half of what we're generating revenue-wise. Now, long term, that's going to break into the 45 to 50% range. But the plan, the money's going in the plan. Jason just taught you how the plan pays that money. And now it's your job to go to work. And so I wanted to say a couple of things real quickly about what it means to go to work. For each one of you, it's different. And it really comes down to what is your why, as Noah talked about. What is your goal? And so really, you have to decide what's your why and what is your goal. And then if you will go work to achieve that, this plan will pay you. So now I want to make something really, just to put an idea in your mind. As Jason said, we're just asking you to do two things, right? Personally recruit and help people do the same as you. there's a concept I want to stick in your mind. That idea is do it and double it. So when you join the business, those of you who are new Engage members today, when we say do it, the first thing you do is you get 3. You get that fast start. So number 1, you've got your investment back with a return, and you've helped 3 people join the business. Now you help them do it. So that's do it and double it. Then if you have a network large enough, or if you have a potential pool of prospects large enough, next month do it again. Our Fast Start plan allows you to cycle and cycle and cycle as many times as you are capable. So do it, double it, then do it again and double it the next month. And as Jason said, just as the numbers run through your organization, you'll be amazed at the Fast Start money that you make and the residual money you make as your organization builds. So do it and double it, just get 3 and start with that, and you will have success. Now, the other thing I want you to think about, I don't know how many of you think of yourselves as a salesperson, okay? The fact that you've decided to become a member of Engage, the fact that you've made the investment of your time and your money, you need to think of yourself, your job is sales. Your job is sales, get us customers. Our job is to keep the customers, okay? So you get the customer, our job is to keep the customer. So how do you get a customer? We've talked about the elevator pitch, the quick pitch. Really, you need to be wise in the use of your time and in the use of your relationships and the use of your resources. It makes no sense to spend $500 to get 1 customer, okay? So you need to think now like a business person. Okay, how am I going to do this? The first thing that you need to do is sit down and make a list of the people in your network. And then in that network, you need to think, number 1, who could benefit from this product? We know everybody. But there's going to be specific people that are going to be really easy because you know that they're struggling with help, they're looking for help. They're going to be easy. Go to them first. Go to your easy people first. That's where you can have some success and have some fun. Then go to your harder people second. And they're going to take a little more time. Now, this is my experience, and some of you will be slightly different, but the experience that I've seen is that when I just give product away, people don't value it. They don't appreciate it, right? So my advice, because many of you who bought $500 worth of product or $1,000 worth of product, you can easily give that away like candy. People will take it, I promise you. They'll be very happy. But that doesn't mean they'll buy it. So you need to be smart. Be smart. First, identify your prospects. Identify the ones who have a need, those who have a health need that you think this product could help them with. Okay? Share the Engage story. Are you MMF deficient? Well, what does that mean? Are you taking a product that the military developed for the health of our soldiers? Well, no. Well, let me tell you about a product I've been taking that was developed for soldiers that has changed my life. That took what, 15 seconds? It's not hard. And people will be positive to that. I can tell you, I've never had anybody be negative on me when I said it. I've never had anybody say, you're crazy. What are you talking about? It's weird. They're like, really, the military? Yeah. Products changed my life. If you have a relationship with them, then they're going to trust you because it's changed your life and you want to share something with them. Then the next thing you do is you sell them the product. Say, look, I bought some product, money out of my own pocket. I bought this product, and I don't know what you paid. Today, if you paid $900 for $1,000 for the product, you got a really great price. A little over $50 a pack. Sell it to them at what your cost is, or sell it to them up to the retail of $80. You decide what is the right price. But make them pay for it, or sell them a 2-week supply, so that's half of that, $25 or $30, whatever you decide on that. If they pay for it, they're going to use it. If they pay for it, they're going to value it. And you know what? If they pay for it, the odds are very high they'll be a customer. Very high. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes.
That's great. Okay, so step 1, like Noah said, determine why are you here? To help people, I think. I think most of us are here to help people. Number 2 is to make a living, to make some money. So helping people and making money and good health. Those are 3 reasons why we're here. Okay? That's the whys. Next thing is identify the people in your life who you can bless with MMF. And think of it that way. You're doing them a favor. You are blessing them, whether they just become a customer or if they decide to do the business. Then the next thing in the business is once you've identified those people who want and need the product, identify people who are looking for opportunity. And you all know those people. I know. You know, it's almost like we're kindred spirits. And that when you're talking to someone who's looking for an opportunity, you know. And guess what? You have an answer for them. And it's a gift. Engage is a gift. And think of it that way, as a blessing and a gift, and those people will respond, and then you will help change their life. The other thing is I just want you all to understand another thing, and that is, this is work. Okay? It can be fun work, and it should be fun work, but this is still work. Any of you here just thinking you're buying a lottery ticket? I think they sell those at the grocery store, right? This is opportunity that requires work. This is opportunity that requires belief. This is opportunity that requires effort. So please have that mindset, because if you do, I know you'll succeed. And why do I know? Because I know thousands of engaged members already who are succeeding. You're not blazing a trail. They already blazed it. The trail is blazed. You get to join them in this trail. But you know what's really lucky for you and for us right now? This is the first meeting in California ever. Yay! Wow. You are early. You are early. You have a lot of opportunities. So anyway, I just want you, as you're making your plan, as you're thinking of what your plans are and efforts, please be true to those principles. Now, in May, we're going to be introducing some additional tools to help you. I mean, I think you have enough to succeed right now. You have the video, you have the product, you have the website, you have the comp plan explanations, you have the incentives and bonuses, lots of things to succeed right now. But in May, we're going to even help you more. We're going to create, in May, we're going to introduce the Engage Way. Okay? So go to work now, build your team, and Engage. We'll have an Engage Way for you in May that will really help you do even better.
Give us a hint.
My hint right now is you go get 3. Okay? Get 3 because you have everything you need. But what I'm telling you is, as a company, we're progressing, we're evolving, we're improving. It's just going to get easier. It's not going to get harder. So the thing I love about, I think of the company right now is we've already got through all the really hard stuff. We've gotten through the really hard stuff. Now it's just the tinkering, the tinkering. And so what we're doing is we're going to continue to make it better, and you can continue to look forward to better. But the hardest hill to climb is behind us. So you really have come at a fortunate time. Let's see if I had a couple slides that I was going to show. Here. It just fits on. Okay, there we go. You see here. Is it going back and forth? How do I go to the next PowerPoint? Yeah, so we'll go to my PowerPoint. I just had a couple slides. Oh, my PowerPoint. Okay, that's all right. It doesn't matter. I was going to give them another quote from Les Mis, but I haven't memorized this longer one. Sorry. But you know what? I think I can find it right here on my phone. If you give me just 1 second. You guys want to hear another David-ism? All right. So let me find this really quickly. You're not going to be able to see it, so if you want it, you're going to have to write it down. Okay. Now that you've decided to be a part of Engage, now that we've talked about how you can improve and engage, the question that I want, remember we talked about the future and dreams? We need to have a dream to create our future, right? So here's a thought for you, and that is, the future has several names. For the weak, it is impossible. For the faint-hearted, it is an unknown, but for the valiant, it is ideal. So I'm going to ask you, what is your legacy going to be with Engage? What is your future going to be with Engage? Are you faint-hearted? Are you weak? Or are you strong? I'm going to say, I know that you're strong because you're here right now. I know that you're strong because you've chosen to take this day, Saturday, to be a part of Engage. I know you're strong because I can feel it coming from you right now. I felt you. I heard you, and you didn't say anything. And I feel you, and I hear you today. You are strong. You have everything you need to succeed. I believe in you. God believes in you. Believe in yourself. And do what it takes to find your dream, to create your dream. I want to just finish by saying I love you people. I love you. Thank you for being a part of the Engage family. Thank you. Okay, so now let's have a little fun. What do you say? A little bit of fun. We've always kind of business stuff. Okay, let's put it in the back. Let's have a little bit of fun now. So I want everybody who has enrolled someone this month to stand up. Everybody who's enrolled someone in the business this month.